Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. Sorry, I was just finishing up some reading on higher education. It's a good thing you caught me at this time. I was out all day, really pampering myself. In fact, I was getting a pedicure, and now I'm at home enjoying a nice glass of goji berry juice. Um, Speaking of petties and goji berries, that actually, do you have time for a story? I want to take you back to a point in my life where I was a teacher. Pedicures, goji berries. What do they have in common? Well, simply that. Pedagogy, which is the function of teaching, a tool, if you will, that we use as scholars. It reminds me of a time when I gave service learning ideas, projects. I worked with professors. I worked mainly with students. Reminds me of one of my great friends, the great Senator John Glenn, who himself, in fact, I believe he quotes, and I quote, by its very definition, civic responsibility means taking a healthy role in the life of one's community. That means that classroom lessons should be complemented by work outside the classroom. Service learning does just that, tying community service to academic learning. My friend, great Senator John Glenn. So, I ask you, what will you do for students when it comes to service learning? Let's talk about what service learning is. There are many times and many students in my time as a teacher, as an advisor, where they had asked me certain things, and my answer always was service learning. Mr. Young, how do you get engaged inside the classroom and outside? I would simply say service learning. Some of them would even ask me, Mr. Ben, how is that different from volunteering your time? And I would say simply that it's not. It is, yes, you are volunteering your time. It is volunteer work, but a minor, and some would say even major difference in that is that besides the volunteer work, besides those warm fuzzies that you get from volunteering your time, you get course credit for it. You get to take learning from in the classroom to the outside. It's giving back to your community. It's simply service learning. It's your civic responsibility, I would tell my students, to really give back to the community. Give back what they've already given you so far. And in turn, you will receive everything else tenfold. Let me give you a great example of a service learning project. Let me give you a great example of what's not a service learning project. Let's go with the latter first. Mr. Ben, I'm interested in being a vet tech. I was like, great. Where do you plan on doing your service learning? Well, I think I have a friend that whose uncle works for JSO. I'm going to do a ride along. My question for that student would be, are there animals involved? Is there a shelter when you do this JSO ride along, when you're observing this police officer? The answer undoubtedly was no. And it's simply that. That is not service learning, unfortunately. Service learning is when you're applying something that you've learned in the classroom to the outside. If you were a vet tech, if you're learning about biology, then I would say service learning, you will go to the Humane Society. You can even volunteer at the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens. That is all service learning right there. Let's take a moment, reflect upon that idea right there, reflect upon that experience. Goji berry juice. Gotta love it. In closing, I want you all to take something very important away from this. In student life, remember, we put the SL in service learning. Thank you, and have a great evening.